Hello, Mr. Ben.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Good evening.
Good evening. It's an honor to having you today in the space with us. Really, it's a pleasure to having you, my man.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here. I'm walking to a television studio to do deadline day, so look forward to speaking for the next 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your time. I was planning to have to chat with you for at least 40 minutes, but we will go deeply with the question with you if you don't mind. Okay, first of all, let me ask you: is this your first interview with or first space with an Arabic or Saudi fans, or you've been in another program before?
No, I've done a few. I engage with a lot of the individual fan groups, Al Ittihad, Al Nasser. I've been over to Saudi Arabia now 7 or 8 times. I even made an appearance on Saudi Sports Channel during the Club World Cup. So it's always a pleasure to be here. And of course, if you want to translate these answers into Arabic as we go along, let me know as well if that's easier, and I can speak a little slower and I can stop halfway through my answers so you can provide a translation.
اوكي. I will translate very fast. سألته في البداية إذا هو هذه أول مقابلة في السبيسز ولا مع القنوات العربية. يقول لا، هو مؤخرا كان موجود في أكثر من مكان، متعامل مع أكثر من جماهير الأندية السعودية. Okay, Mr. Ben, how you see the future of RCL, the Saudi League? Where are we going? Where are we heading?
Well, I think the future is very exciting, especially because the league will obviously benefit from the 2034 World Cup. But what we have to remember is that it's the early stage of the project. So the infrastructure is going to take longer than the ambition or the big spending. So we shouldn't judge the Saudi Pro League or football more generally in Saudi Arabia based upon only one window, half a season. I think there's excitement because of the star names, but there's still some identity that needs to be built. A lot of the teams recruited big names, but big names don't win you trophies. You need to be a team, you need identity, you need to ensure that you have the right names, not just the star names. So I think that the level of ambition is high, but what we're going to see in the next maybe 2, 3, 4 transfer windows is an evolution as the clubs become more professional, as the clubs decide whether or not they can have a younger approach to recruitment, as the clubs help develop young Saudi talent as well, which is equally as important. And then I think in maybe 1 to 3 seasons' time, we'll really start to see the benefit in the Saudi Pro League, but also to the Saudi national team and in women's football as well. So it's very exciting times.
Okay, I'll translate very fast. اتكلم يقول هي الفترة الأولى فقط في فترة الانتقالات. لا تعني انك انت عندك اسماء ستارز انك انت راح تنجح وراح تحقق البطولات. تحتاج انك تبني البنية التحتية ذكرها مرتين في جوابه. قال انت تحتاج نوعية الأسماء ليس الأسماء الكبيرة، وإنما أنت تحتاج الأسماء النوعية اللي هي ممكن تغير الدوري. أنت تحتاج من موسم إلى 3 مواسم لبناء فريق حتى تشوف النتائج على المنتخب، النتائج على اللاعبين الشباب في السعودية، وأكيد لمنتخب البنات والسيدات السعودي. Mr. Ben, just the most important question that everyone is asking today. We saw your tweet today about Karim Benzema, that there is a possibility that he's leaving in the summer. Uh, we are worried. We are worried because like a superstar like Karim Benzema didn't join the camp in Dubai with the team. He's still didn't join the training today, and everyone is asking what is happening with Zima, and what message he's trying to tell us or to tell the fans in Saudi Arabia.
Well, I think the message Benzema is sending is about Al Ittihad being mid-table, no guarantee of Asian Champions League, and if he is to stay, they have to challenge next season, which means that he wants to be a part of the recruitment and he wants to be a part of success. He's not joined to be mid-table, he's joined to win trophies. So his own level of ambition is very high. And naturally, we heard a lot of rumours in the January window about Benzema leaving. But the truth is, Karim Benzema never formally told the club he wanted to leave. It was tense at times and he was late back to mid-season training, but he never requested to leave. It is true that Lyon explored the possibility of bringing him back. It is not true, though, that any Premier League club made a concrete offer for Benzema. So there was never really an expectation that he would go in January. But now the Saudi window's shut, and obviously the one over here in England closes in just a few hours' time. Benzema wants to have talks. Benzema wants to know what the plan is. He wants to know what the strategy is on and off the field. So there's a chance that he can be persuaded to stay. And it's not just the club, but also the ministry deal makers don't want him to leave. So it's not over between Benzema and Saudi Arabia and Benzema and Al Ittihad. Things just need to improve. And I think that Benzema wants to be listened to. And Benzema will make one very key point, which is that if he goes, then Kante might leave and other players that he knows may not want to come. So if Luka Modric, a big Saudi target, is going to be approached, then he's going to speak to Karim Benzema. He's going to speak to other top players in Saudi Arabia. And it's therefore important that Benzema stays because he's kind of the glue that holds the project together. And even if he leaves, his recommendation is important to others. And this is why I think that from the ministry perspective and from the wider PIF perspective, so outside of specifically the club, they want to ensure that they keep him for longer than just one season. So the summer's going to be very important because it's a long window, so Benzema can have time to look for options. But at the moment, there's nothing close. There's nothing lined up. There's no exit planned. Benzema's first priority now is to see an improvement at Al Ittihad. And that's why I think meetings between now and the summer window are going to be very important.
Okay, that's a very straightforward answer. I will keep the translation. شباب أنا حترجم بعدين. You said many things. I'm taking
واحدة
notes.
بواحدة كده عشان تقدر تجمع يا بندر.
I will do the translation إن شاء الله ترون. أنا بكتب معايا أبو خالد. Mr. Ben, the other questions. You are very close and you are a very important source from Liverpool. We heard a lot of rumors. We were watching
Did we lose the host?
in the last summer window. We were watching the clock to the last second, waiting for Salah.
اتوقع ما يسمعك. يقول
Yeah, I think we lost the host, unfortunately.
Ben, how are you? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. I think
أسأله على صلاح. Yeah.
Okay. The host is you lost his voice. You cannot hear him.
No.
طيب بندر يقول ما يقدر يسمعك. أقول له ينزل ويطلع ولا؟
طيب أسأل السؤال كالتالي. إحنا كنا we were watching the clock till the last second في الفترة الصيفية. فإيش اللي صار مع محمد صلاح؟ Is it real؟ كان في عرض من الاتحاد ولا لا؟
Okay.
وليش ما وافق صلاح؟
Okay, Ben. The question is like this. You want to ask about Muhammad Salah and what happened until the last moments in summer window and what happened to make the deal goes off.
Well, I think that the deal was never on in the sense that Liverpool's position was clear that they didn't wish to sell Mo Salah in that window. So it was a late move by Al Ittihad with a view to making Salah the poster boy of the Saudi Pro League. But in addition to that, the other key priority was having him play in the Club World Cup, of course. And this is why Al Ittihad got the preference for Salah. But Salah wanted to stay at Liverpool, even though he had great respect for the Saudi Arabian project. And Liverpool, as they showed, were prepared to reject an offer. There was only one offer, to my understanding. 150 million English pounds was the total package. And it was rejected in a phone call between the deal makers from Saudi Arabia and the FSG chief, Mike Gordon. And from there, Al Ittihad and the wider Saudi deal makers walked away. And they did that because they wanted to protect their relationship with the club. There's no point in just coming and bidding. It might make headlines, but it can break your relationship with a club. So the deal makers walked away because they know that they're going to return this summer. There's still no guarantee, but I think it may help Saudi Arabia that Jurgen Klopp is leaving, because it's a new era at Liverpool, and Mo Salah might see it himself as a crossroads. But my understanding is that if there's to be a return for Mo Salah in the summer, which is very likely because he's high on the list of priorities, it will not be Al Ittihad that are the chosen club. It is more likely to be Al Hilal.
طيب اساله يا فيصل، قل له كان في official offer ولا لا من الاتحاد؟
So Ben, he want to make sure was there any formal offer, like official offer, have been provided from the PIF or the people who are giving the offers from Saudi Arabia to Liverpool administration?
Yes, it was a verbal offer made via phone to Mike Gordon. And in that phone call, Mike Gordon intimated that Liverpool would not be accepting either the amount offered, 150 million, or any other amount.
So,
And I think at
the
that
verb.
point,
Sorry for interrupting. Like the verbal offers, like in Saudi Arabia and UK, also are admitted. Like it is granted for sure.
well, you make a verbal offer to try and get an answer. And then if you feel like either the price is agreed or the offer is agreed or it's close to being agreed, then you would put it in writing. But you don't want to waste your time generating a formal offer blindly. So the phone call took place first to gauge whether or not there would be a likelihood of Liverpool accepting. And when it was made clear that they would not accept, that was the only offer that was made. I know we saw a lot of reports about other offers, but my understanding is there was only one offer, and it was a verbal offer. It was done via the phone.
طيب فيصل، على طول ادخل عليه في فان دايك، عقده حينتهي نهاية هذه السنة، هل يشوفه ممكن يوصل للسعودية؟ كوناتي، دي بروين، الثلاث الاسماء هذه بس.
Okay. So Ben, the question is like this. As we know, Van Dijk, after his last sayings, and also Konati, and also the player De Bruyne from Manchester City, what is your expectation and your information about them? Are they gonna come to Saudi Arabia next summer or not?
Difficult. I would say he's the number one target, or level anyway, with Mo Salah. But De Bruyne could easily sign a new deal at Manchester City, so that might be one for 2025. I would keep a very close eye on Rafa Varane and potentially Casemiro as well. For Varane, I'm told Al Nassr and Al Ittihad. For Casemiro, I'm told Al Hilal and Al Nassr are both looking. I would also still believe that we may see Miguel Almiron move to Saudi Arabia. I know that Al Shabab had tried and they couldn't convince the player mid-season, but the summer might be a... Son is another player, so it might be more difficult. I think we might have to wait for that until potentially 2025 rather than 2024. But that's another very interesting one. We know that Emerson Royale and also Aaron Wan-Bissaka were subjects of approaches from Al Nassr in this January window, but neither player wanted to join. And in the case of Wan-Bissaka, Manchester United wanted to wait. But in the summer, that one could be very possible as well. So we're going to see a number of names, I think, being linked again with Saudi Arabia in the summer. They won't get all of them, but there's a strong chance that they get at least half of their top targets. As we saw in the last summer, there were 20 main names on a list and about 7 to 10 arrived. And I would expect the same thing again, 20 elite names on a list, 7 to 10 will arrive. Luka Modric could be another possibility as well. So I think that we're going to see another very ambitious summer from Saudi Arabia.
طيب تسألوا فيصل مين النادي اللي يشوفه في السعودية في الصيف حيكون عنده أكبر حظوة أو أكبر
بندر عفوا اسال اقول له ليش بس ما ادري اذا كان يدري ولا ما يدري ليش في تفاوت في الدعم عندنا؟ ليش الاتحاد اقل الانديه دعما؟ خلينا نصيح كمان حتى فوق هناك غربي.
كيف اوصلها بطريقه فنيه يا ابو خالد؟ ما ينفع.
شوف جيبها كيف.
طيب أسأل مين النادي اللي يشوفه أكبر حظوة في السعودية وفي الصيفية؟ مين النادي؟
اكثر؟ اي من النادي اللي اندعم اكثر والنادي اللي اندعم اقل.
اقول له كذا من النادي اللي اندعم اكثر.
ومين النادي اللي حيكون في الصيفية؟
اي والنادي اللي اندعم اقل.
So Ben, the question is like this. Based on the numbers and the latest AFC schedule, who do you think the best club from spending and the least club from spending from the clubs of PIF? And who's the club who's gonna benefit in the next summer?
Oh, I think they'll all sign because we have the new quotas coming in. So you can have 8 foreigners, although 2 have to be born before 2003, after 2003, I should say. So it means that we're going to see maybe 2 young players come. And that means that it's a different profile, more like a Gabri Vega type signing. And then, of course, there'll be some exits that allow for space within the squads. So I expect Al Hilal to be very active because the situation with Neymar is a little bit up in the air. And as a consequence, they need goals, they need creativity. So I would expect them to sign 3 or 4 foreigners. I think that we have to keep an eye also on Al Ittifaq because they have a little bit of extra budget after Jordan Henderson departed. And they were very busy in this window. Seko Fofana was a good loan. But in the summer, I think they're going to sign 3 big foreigners. Thiago Alcantara is one name that they are trying to agree a pre-contract with. Al Qadsiya are very interesting in Dammam because they are coming up from the 2nd division, but they have that Aramco money. So you would expect them to make a big statement as well. And then I think that Al Ali have got some work to do because even though they've got a strong squad, we know that Bobby Firmino hasn't scored too many goals. So they're going to be looking for a flagship striker as well. And then I think with Al Ittihad, it's going to be about seeing what Benzema wants, but it's also going to be about defence. I still think that they need to bring in a centre-back, which is why they are being linked with Rafa Varane. So all of the clubs will be active because you can sign more foreigners, and it's going to be a different kind of activeness because you need some young players and you need some older stars as well. So I think that we're going to see another big summer. I wasn't surprised that January was quiet in Saudi Arabia because a lot of the clubs had spent their seasonal budget and also they have their quotas full. But in the summer, there'll be extra money for next season and there'll be extra space within the squads. So I think we're going to see a lot of signings.
Okay. Anything to add from your side before you leave, Mr. Ben?
No, just I enjoy watching the Saudi Pro League. It's my pleasure to come on. And I think that the league is very exciting. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get stronger. And it's going to benefit the Saudi Arabian national team as well. So I'm looking forward to meeting more fans next time I come over. I'm looking forward to watching more games. The football culture in Saudi Arabia is very fun, very passionate. And that's for the men and the women's games. I was fortunate enough to see a Jeddah derby, which was a lot of fun when I was at the Club World Cup, and that was between Al Ali women and Al Ittihad women, and that had 2,000 or 3,000 fans, and it was brilliant. I went to an Al Nassr game and I was behind the goal with the Al Nassr fans. The Al Ittihad fans made me feel very welcome at the Club World Cup. The Al Hilal fans gave me a Neymar shirt and I watched a game with them. So it's my pleasure to speak about the Saudi Pro League. I wish everybody the best, and I hope to see some of you in person during my next visit to Saudi Arabia.
Please let us know. You are welcome anytime. I will arrange for another space with you, or even face-to-face meeting with you once you arrive in your next travel here to Saudi
I
Arabia.
look forward to it.
You are most welcome. Thank you for your time. It's a pleasure having you here.
لا تقول له ثانك يو وتقفل
We wish you
الموضوع.
all the best.
بندر
سحب منه بالكلام بس.
ايه بندر اسأل على الفيفورت تيم في السعودية.
Your favorite team? Everyone is asking. What is your favorite team?
Oh, I can't give you a
I
favorite
think
team.
الاتحاد.
I mean, my team in England is Leicester City, and we won the Premier League. So if I pick,
Okay, so we share the same color with the Ittihad, the yellow and black.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Ben.
I mean, if I pick the Leicester color, it's blue, so I have to pick Al Hilal. But I think that my team in Saudi is actually Al Fatah, because Slaven Bilic is somebody that I know and that I'm friends with, and I like an underdog. So he's the person that I am going to support.
هذا السؤال اللي ما كان له داعي احس بس يلا روح.
Shukran, everybody. All the best.
He's very disappointed now.
Well, you can say I'm a fan of whatever team you like. I'm a fan of whoever posts me a shirt. So I'll be a fan of whatever
Okay.
team you want.
In your next visit, we'll take you in a visit to the Ittihad Club.
Shukran, everybody. All the best. Pleasure speaking to you. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you.